Two scenes filled with death and violence. An attack on police officers in downtown Dallas 9 days ago, and dozens of people killed, including two from Texas, during celebrations in Nice, France. Now the conversation turns to dealing with trauma. Joining us once again this morning is Veronica Sites. We talked to her last week about grief immediately following the deaths of 5 officers here in Dallas. And now we're extending the conversation. Good morning, Veronica. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So for a lot of people who were personally affected by what's happened in Dallas, they're just beginning to grieve. It's just starting for them. And now we see what's happened internationally abroad in France. What are they feeling right now?
Many are starting to become complicated. The stress that we had when you have something so quick afterwards and you haven't had an opportunity to deal with it. I like to use the imagery of a 20-ounce soda bottle. I mean, it's compressed, it's been shaken, and then it's been shaken again. And one of the things that I really encourage the community, you will start to see beginning tomorrow, there will be open format debriefings. We want to reach out to those that were at the protests, the children that have come by the memorial, parents, just to gain some insight, what to watch for. Different age children are going to respond differently, but they all are going to have some form of question. So speaking to them, answering their questions age appropriate is a very important thing to become. It's a teachable moment for parents, and even more so, it's a learnable moment for parents, because our children give us cues that are nonverbal when they're on emotional overload, which if we took them, we might not pressurize nearly as much and overstress. They pick up, and one feeds the other.
They sure do. So when you're talking to your children, do you wait for them to approach you about what's been happening? Do you find a right time to talk to them about it and introduce the conversation in that way? What's the best way to go about having that talk with them?
It really depends on the age of the child. If they're preschool age, you want to protect them, you know, as far as media exposure, a lot of the things that, they're hearing. Ask them, if they pass the room, ask them how their day is, what's going on. They'll say, they will bring up, you want to give factual information and be truthful. Reassure them in their sense of security. For elementary age children, they're going to have different feelings. Very important to get down on their eye level and just, come down to where they are and reassure them, physically touch them, give them words of affirmation that everything in you is going to do what you can as the adult in their family to help them feel safe. Now, older children, teenagers, adolescents, preteens, are more expressive. They're going to express their opinions, and same thing, developmentally, they may have a lot more vocabulary than a young child. Right. But watch for behaviors like storming out of the room, a sudden blurt out, that's enough, just a outburst. Because again, what is pressurizing on the inside, the difficult part about this time and with so many compounding situations is we can't see what's going on the inside. So we've got to be advocates for our children. And one of the best ways to advocate for your children is make sure that you're taking care of your own stress level.
Let me ask you this. You've talked about how to approach a situation, what to say, what to do. What should parents certainly not do when having these conversations with their children?
Well, one of the things that you don't want to do is you don't want to have them watching you or see you over and over, watching the television, listening to the radio, to the extent that the behavior is starting to show you're obsessing. Okay. And also, you don't want to allow the children, it doesn't matter what age they are, to be overexposed. And with teens, preteens, social media may be a time that you really need to monitor. What are they doing? What are they talking about? How are they sharing on these? It's a good time for parents to really be proactive on monitoring what is being done on social media, because there's so much out there that they're seeing, snapshots of the actual event and the damage or the deaths, and this is reality. It's not a television.
So let me ask you this: would you suggest then maybe a good mix of what's going on in reality today with maybe some light pastimes, some fun activities? Is that a good way to find a balance, maybe? One
of the good things to do is, choose as a family. Discuss it and say, what we're going to do for our family is what we focus our mind on is going to determine our attitudes. Therefore, in light of, we're being squeezed as a city, what's going to come out? Are we gonna express love, compassion, and choose things to do? July's National Ice Cream Month, and tomorrow's National Ice Cream Day.
Sure is.
It's Sunday. Go have some ice cream. You know, do something to engage in what's normal as much as it can be today, but do fun things and set a new normal so that that security is reinforced.
Excellent advice. Veronica, thank you so much for joining us this
you.
morning. We'll be right back with something just in time for National Ice Cream Day. Now, Dallas has been the focus of the entire country these past few days after a gunman ambushed and killed 5 Dallas officers in the downtown area 9 days ago. Now, the events in Nice, France, dozens killed, including 2 people from Texas. Both incidents involved people who were gathered for peaceful events, but violence took over, leaving many dead and or injured. The emotional trauma can be overwhelming, especially when our children are exposed to these kinds of images. Earlier, we spoke with Dr. Veronica Sites, who says it's important for parents to talk to kids about these events, but in an age-appropriate manner.
You want to give factual information and be truthful. Reassure them in their sense of security. For elementary age children, they're going to have different feelings. Very important to get down on their eye level and just, you know, come down to where they are and reassure them, physically touch them, give them words of affirmation that everything in you is going to do what you can as the adult in their family to help them feel safe.
Dr. Sites says older kids and teenagers are more expressive, so let them have those long conversations with their friends, but at the same time, keep a close eye on their social media activity.